on CSN, longtime Chicago radio host, and now author David Kaplan, who wrote The Plan, and it is available now on Amazon.com. There were a lot of happy people when the Cubs won the World Series, but I know you in particular were pretty happy because you've been working on this project for quite some time.
Yeah, I started writing it, Len. Thanks you guys for having me up here last February, and then when Rajay Davis hit the home run, I went, "You've got to be kidding me!" I mean, I would have bet $1 billion that day that they were going to win Game 7, and then to see it finally end and turn the book in the day before Thanksgiving, and it was a lot of fun to write.
$1 billion. Well, now at least we know you're doing pretty well at CSN. That's good to know. As Cesar Hernandez will lead off against Arrieta. So the idea of writing the book was what? Just when Theo took over, and the whole idea of trying to win it the way the Cubs did, which was particularly unique in this market.
You know, they had said to me, the publishers at Triumph said, write a book on the 2016 team. And I said, yeah, there's going to be 1 million books if they win, and I think they're going to. Now, if you want to write something from the time Tom Ricketts bought the team to the day they won it, I'm in. I think it would be a really cool thing. And look, Theo's amazing, Jed's amazing, Jason McLeod did a great job. But the real hero is Tom Ricketts. To allow them to do this and then stay wedded and have the discipline to that plan when there's some really bad baseball for a while, he to me is the real hero. Obviously, the front office are geniuses.
No, I agree with you. It always starts and ends with ownership in these situations. Ground ball into center and a leadoff single. JD and I have talked about this very topic, and I think in theory, when a general manager or team president goes to a team owner and says, okay, here's the plan, it might take 3, 4, 5 years, but we might save a little money along the way, and then when we're ready to really go for it, we'll spend money again. We might lose a lot of games,
right?
And you say, okay, this is the right way to do it, and the owner says, I'm in, and then you lose 100 games, and you go, then we lose 95,
and the owner's out to
and
dinner, and somebody says, what's going on with you guys?
Right.
Why don't you spend some money and improve the club? And people are calling into talk radio and ripping the ownership for their approach, and you have to, as you said, you have to stick to the plan. You have to be wedded to it and stick to it.
Yeah, I interviewed Billy Beane, and he said the most impressive thing was in a market like this for the owner to never be out to dinner and go, okay, here's the checkbook, go get a couple of veterans. He said that's pretty impressive.
Cover me, yeah.
Daniel Nava with a man on, nobody out. Phillies lead 2-1. And the pitch, it is low and outside. So you've been around here forever. What did you learn in the process of writing this book that you didn't know before you started it?
I guess on how far away they were until they finally put this plan together to build this thing the right way on business and on baseball. And you know, Theo, the steward of the whole thing. You look back on the years I started doing the pre and post in '95. You look back and you think, wow. I mean, they had moments where they didn't want to spend money to have a second set of weight equipment in Arizona, so they would truck it back and forth. It was just kind of held together with baling wire and hoping to catch lightning in a bottle, whereas now you've built something for sustained success.
1-1 the count.
Was it enjoyable to write the book? Was it arduous? Were there times where you're banging your head against the wall and said, why did I go down this road?
Absolutely. All of it. I would come home after doing the post game. I'd get home late, and then I'd sit down and have nights where 4:30, and I got to get up to go to work, still typing, and there were other nights I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to say. But I had a recorder I kept with me in my car, and so on Bluetooth, I'd have calls out to everybody. You know, Billy Beane or Brian Cashman or this one or that one, or find a player here or there. Can I have a few minutes? John Lester and Arrieta. Guys were phenomenal. Theo gave me 3 hours one day sitting down the left field line and said, ask me anything you want. You can ask any question you want. So it was really cool. Crane sat with me, and Jed and Jason and Tom Ricketts, and I just got a chance to get as much info as I could, and then I tried to put it together.
Looks like Joe is going to challenge this play at first base. So the Cubs think they may have gotten Hernandez.
Cubs used the challenge early in the ball game last night, and they did not have the call go in their favor. But they did not take a lot of time before deciding to challenge this one. And there's why. It shouldn't take a long time for them to overturn it.
So, okay, we'll go back to Rajay Davis hits the home run. So, if the alternate ending had occurred, would you still be sitting on this book idea, or were you going to publish it this spring no matter what happened?
We were publishing either way. It was coming out because the plan is such a great plan, and they would still be the favorite going into this year, but certainly wouldn't have had the appeal.
Right. And they've overturned. Joe will maintain his challenge. 1 out. 2-1 count on Daniel Nava.
I think the most impressive thing they did was the transparency. To say, hey, look, it's going to take time. Not every team does that. They did. I think more should. Be honest with your fans.
Yeah, I know Drayton McClain got into trouble down in Houston for that because Drayton was, a very optimistic guy, and he would always say, we're going to be champions. We're being a champion today, and it just, wore people out after a while because everybody knew they weren't going to be champions for a while. They might be a champion this year, but through that process down there, you could tell they were blowing it up and rebuilding, and he just didn't want to use that word. But I agree with you. I think the transparency, just tell folks, here's the deal, hang with us. They held those meetings downtown in the offseason. They brought the season ticket holders in, explained to them what they were doing, asked people to be patient.
And when they made a mistake, they would say, hey, that probably wasn't the best deal there. They were very honest. I remember being with Lenny at some of the season ticket holder things.
Oh, sure.
And they weren't.
Yeah, not every trade worked out great. I think Theo would tell you the DJ LeMahieu deal. That was the early one that didn't work out because they didn't really know DJ that well. But then again, they did the Cashner for Rizzo trade right around that time. Wood for Marshall. Those worked out very well. But I would say way more work than didn't.
That's why they've got rings.
Right.
That's exactly right.
Well, you're a fan. You admit it when you're on the air. You get emotional. You get upset. Were there moments with your audience where you felt like you were not on the same page with them in terms of them being upset, and you think saying just be a little patient here?
During the rebuild?
Yeah.
No, because I believed in Theo and what his idea was, his plan.
Right. All right, the plan. David Kaplan.